Hello, everybody. Welcome to our public meeting. I'm so happy to be here again with you tonight, and I'm gonna sing a couple of songs to prepare our environment, to prepare our soul, to prepare our spirit for these special moments with the gospel according to the Spiritism. So vibrate. When life lends a hand, it's time to open up your heart. It is time to love one another. It's time to take part. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into song. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. Vibrate always, loving and serving everyone. When we give our heart in charity, our lives are transforming into songs. Our dreams become reality. And we join Jesus for eternity. So welcome everybody that's starting. So soon we're gonna start our public meeting, and I'm keep on singing a couple of songs for you to sing together. Now I'm gonna sing Song for Mother Zephyrina. Source of love that radiates, warming up our cold nights, support and comfort, cascades flowing down the mountain, calling the children of earth with love in their hearts, with love in their hearts. My soul never loses hope, because your love always teaches me the solution lies in hard work. The solution lies in hard work. Oh, my mother Zephyrina, harvest of wonderful blessings, make your small son a good Christian. Make your small son a good Christian. Did you like this invitation? Come enjoy with us Spiritism. It's a Kardec school, so everybody is welcome to participate with us. And I'm going to sing another song, so preparing for our special night. Love in Action. Oh Jesus, here I am, my knees on the floor, to say thank you, my Lord, for the light that come through this door. Your love is the key to change the entire world. Using these chains wisely, we will live in peace and harmony. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, you just have to put love in action. Now I understand, helping others is helping myself. Your words now are so crystal clear. Your teachings have no frontiers. To see all this transformation, you just have to put love in action. So welcome to our meeting. I think I'm going to sing another song. We have technical difficulties here, but you have to start exercising your charity. You have to listen to me. So, Good Old Man. Blue crystal white colors of the sky, gray bushy beard, Santas look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering joy or in pain. Blue crystal eyes, colors of the sky. Gray bushy beard, Santa's look alike. Shine on your brothers on earth, suffering, living joy or in pain. Deseja de Menezes, Apostle of the Good, receive our prayers and also our heart. Deseja de Menezes, Apostle of the Light, place our pains at the feet of Jesus Christ. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the Good, receive our praise and also our heart. Bezerra de Menezes, Apostle of the Light, place our pain at the feet of Jesus Christ.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome to our public meeting. Before we start, we would like to share a couple of announcements. We ask you to turn off your phone notifications and find a quiet place during this time if possible. Our meeting will have a 30 minutes presentation followed by Q&A. Then, after the presentation, we will have a spiritual treatment with passes and magnetized water. So we invite you to set aside a container with water to be magnetized. We would like to announce that our public meeting is being retransmitted today by Continental Conference Americas through their Facebook and will also be retransmitted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. East by Kardec Radio through their Facebook and YouTube. For those who want to learn more about Spiritism, Get to Know to Spiritism is a free and online course that happens every Saturday at 5:15 p.m. East. New class will start this Saturday, September 9th. More information will be given soon. So we're gonna share the link in the chat. So if you wanna register for the course, you can do online. Okay. We offer virtual live gospel at home. Did you know that? The gospel at home is an effective support for you and your family's spiritual harmony. We will motivate and guide you in establishing and maintaining the gospel at home study meetings. We will, by posting in the chat, you can request it. So please let us know. You are welcome to include your or someone else's names on the list of positive vibrations for incarnate or discarnate. The person you indicate will be assisted by good spiritists to provide healing energy and strength goodwill. Please find the link in our chat. The topic of today's meeting is Faith, the Mother of Hope and Charity, from chapter 19, Faith Moves Mountains. Items 11 and 12 which will be facilitated by our sister Ana Oliveira from Alabama, US. Everyone is welcome to write comments and questions in the chat, and we will address the questions at the end of the talk. And now we would like to invite our tonight's speaker that will also do our opening prayer as well. Welcome, Anna.
Hello, Marceli. So nice to be here. Now I'm gonna say just like Publio. I'm so happy to be here.
We are very happy to have you here. You are part of our family.
That's how I feel too. We have our spiritual families, and I feel really welcome and very honored to be here today to talk with everybody and do a little reflection on the gospel.
Okay, see you later.
All right. So, brothers and sisters, let's start by praying. So, if it helps you relax and concentrate, close your eyes, breathe deeply, be present, feel where you are, sitting down or standing up. And let's all be thankful to God for this opportunity to be here together, for this day that we had its opportunity, so many hours for more one day in this earthly life. Maybe some things went well, others not so much. But what stays at the end of the day is the thing we're going to talk about today is the faith in God, is the faith that He's good, merciful, and just, that we are His children, we are protected, and that we can always, as immortal spirits, continue whatever it may be tomorrow. We can always do it again in a different way because God does not forsake us. He loves us and He's always there for us. There's nothing we can do that somebody can do to us, that we can say, that can be said to us, that can keep us away from God's love. So for that, we are thankful and we ask God and the good spirits to protect our families, to protect this time here together. May it enter our hearts, our minds, our spirits, and plant and be planted like a little seed that may be one day giving a lot of fruits. For all we thank you, Jesus. For everyone we thank you. And so be it. All right, friends. So let me share with you my slides. Oh, share screen. You would think that I would already know how to do this. Oh, good. Thank you so much. All right, so today we're going to talk about faith, the mother of hope and charity, and that is in chapter 19th of the Gospel according to Spiritism. So we have been talking previous weeks already about the power of faith, about religious faith, about the unshakable faith, also about the parable of the withered fig tree. And today we're going to talk about the Spirit's teaching. So it's a short and sweet chapter that I do really recommend that you guys read it, right? And read it in your own time after this talk so you can also get the most out of it. So it's towards the end, and those are two messages. So this first message starts like that. In order to be profitable, faith must be active. So profitable, maybe even in this translation, we can think about fruitful, right? So you have faith, but what is it that does that mean, right? Last week we were talking about the parable of the withered fig, and Jesus said that we need to bear fruits, right? We need to produce something, right? So how do we stay active, right, with our faith? And with that, I started thinking of all the things that happened around us. And it's my faith active? Do I use it really to transform myself and the world around me, or it's more of a passive thing? Yeah, I believe, I have faith, but that doesn't mean that that is externalized at all. So the problems of the world, of people going hungry, maybe going lonely, you know and even the loneliness can happen in any educational background or socioeconomic background. What is my faith pushing me to do, right? Impelling me to do? Is that really an active faith or not? That is only the first sentence in that message. It also says it must not grow numb, right? So Jesus even said that if we had faith of the size of a mustard or grain, or like a mustard seed, right, we would be able to tell this mountain move and it will move. So we could do many, many things. So you're probably thinking, yes, yeah, we have faith. Even if we have faith and if we think about faith, it's probably not so big. But what happens with that faith when faced with the day by day things, when faced with the difficulties of the daily lives, when faced with the news that we can see on TV, when faced of knowing the things that are happening to our friends, to our family? Does it grow numb? Is it easy to see, maybe because we focusing on this news about war, about diseases and illegal substances and people suffering in so many different ways? Does our faith grows numb once we are actually placed right in this earth, right in this really life that we live every day? So it says that it must not, right? And it also continues telling us that faith is the mother of all virtues that lead to God. And it must watch carefully over the development of the children it generates. So here it's a little bit of a poetry, right? When bringing that idea that faith, it's a mother, right? And then the two daughters are hope and charity. And if you come from other religious background, for example, if you're Catholic, you have heard about the theological virtues, right? Faith, hope, and charity. So faith, right? So we believe in God and in His promises, or the things that He revealed to us, and in the laws that God created to govern the universe. Hope, that we trust that what God has promised us, or the things, for example, in the gospel that Jesus taught us, they will be fulfilled. There is, right, an eternal life. And charity, that virtual, right, that sometimes people interchange charity with love, that it's why I love, through that virtual, I love God above all, but I love, my neighbors as myself. The message keeps, continues and then explains here, right? Hope and charity are consequences of faith. That's why it's saying that faith is the mother, right? And saying that these three virtues form an inseparable trinity. So it says it's not faith that provides. Just 1 minute, because my slides, they were a little bit more um, clear than in here. So we're still in the first message, and it says, good thing I have the book right here. It is not faith that provides the hope of seeing the Lord's promises fulfilled. Because if you do not have faith, what do you hope for? It is not faith that provides love. Because if you do not have faith, what appreciation will you have? And consequently, what love? Right? So in this message, this spirit that is it's Joseph, a protector spirit. This message was received in Bordeaux, in the city of Bordeaux, in 1862. It's explaining to us how faith, hope, and charity are connected, right? So he continues saying that faith is a divine inspiration from God and awakens all the noble instincts that lead humans toward the good. It is the foundation of regeneration, right? So it is, we, what are we doing in our religious circles, right? We go there to strengthen our faith. Nobody goes to a religious group to be worse than we are, right? We all want to be better, right? We want to achieve a better version of ourselves. So that's why, faith is the foundation of regeneration, right? It says, though, that thus this foundation, right, our faith must be strong and durable. For if the least doubt shakes it, what will become of the edifice, of the building that you built upon it, right? So if faith, is the basis, if that basis or that foundation is not strong and durable, can it survive one day of news? Can it survive a month of working? Can it survive a year of having the family that we have? Can it survive 10 years of, working, paying bills, and, listening to a lot of things? Can it really, right? Can it actually, once things that are big and sometimes unpredictable, like let's say war or a natural disaster or a pandemic, when these things come and shake our foundation of our faith, will that building come, crumbling? Will it all implode, or it would maybe, uh, shake a little bit, but it still be, is strong. And with that, it reminded me of this part of the gospel. That is the gospel of Matthew, is chapter 7, where Jesus says that everyone that hears his words but do not practice is like a man who built a house on the rock. The ones who practice, but the ones who do not practice is just like those who build a house on sand, right? And that is the foolish man, right? Because if the rain comes down, the streams arise, the wind blow and beat that house. If the house is on a rock, it will stand. But if it's in sand, it would just be crushed, right? And I remember this because I used to teach, younger kids about the gospel, and was one of the songs that we really like to sing, because you can say, that the wind blew and the waves. You can do a lot of gestures, and that can help little kids to kind of take a lot of the energy so they can settle down a little bit, and then it's easier for you to talk to them. So I used to love those very expressive songs because we could really, it's still is something for them to learn the message right through a song, but also to physically move and have some of these energies out. So our faith, right? Where are we building this house that is our, so it's in a very soft place that if the wind blows, it's going to cover our house, or if the waves come, it will just wash the house away, or it's really solid. It really reminded me about this passage when I was reading this message, and the message continues saying, therefore construct the building upon unshakable foundations. Let your faith be stronger than the sophisms and ridicule of disbelievers. Because, the fountain that cannot stand, for the faith that cannot stand to human ridicule, it's not true faith, right? So remember too, you have your faith, you want your faith to be strengthened, but remember it might not be the same for other people, and people are going to question that. That is part of the process. People are going to really try to test and see, is that really, actually things in life will test, right, your faith, to see if you really have that. And we have so many opportunities for that. I have a friend who just passed away, and I can see his wife, that is my friend too, how strong she is, but she draws all of that from her faith, right? She has been building that house on a very solid place. So does she miss him dearly, right? Is it hard? It is extremely hard, but and you can see that she's affected by it, but she can continue working and living because of her faith. She knows that she believes in the afterlife, right? Um, she has that faith, so that makes it not easier, but it's really more bearable. So it's not like the wind is not blowing, it's not like the waves are not trying to crush on you, right? But your foundation is strong, that you are still there standing, even though only you maybe and God knows how hard that is, right? But remember that faith, right, the more faith you try and you seek and you try to exercise, that will be tested. So that's why it's so important that the basis be strong. He also talks about the sincere faith, and the one that is just more superficial. So the message continues saying that sincere faith, it's alluring and contagious. I love it. It communicates itself to those who did not have it, or even would not desire to have it, right? That is the sincere faith. It says it finds persuasive words that go to the soul, whereas apparent faith uses only sonorous words that leave their listeners cold and indifferent, right? So it really, it's more about, once you have this very strong and sincere faith, it can show right through your words, but also, and more importantly, through your example, through your actions, right? How you go about your life. So the message says, preach through the example of your faith in order to give it to others. Preach through the example of your deeds in order to enable others to see the merits of faith, right? So it's not just what you say, but how you say it and what you do, right? So you can be a testimony of faith and how faith is important in life without even tell people your specific religion or trying to convince them about what you're doing. People are going to see, huh, that person went through this and it's still standing, is still kind of a kind person. I see they have difficulties, but they're managing. What is up with that, right? Where is that coming from? Right? That's why a sincere faith, it's really very magnetic, right? It's very, like it says, alluring and contagious, right? Because we all seek that, right? Even we do this thing that when we want to pray, sometimes we say, oh, but I'm going to ask maybe Marcel to pray for me because, I think she has more faith. So you always, you're looking in your prayer, if you need to pray, you're like, oh, I'm going to ask this person or that person, right? What we should not pass on that opportunity to others. But that's the thing. That person probably already shown us that they have that faith, and you want somebody on your side that believes, right? So remember that uh this life, right? That's why he's saying preach through your example. It's almost really like in a lot of moments I feel, so I'll talk for myself, that I'm this little icon on this video game, and he has to go through all these obstacles and get to the final, destination, right? To change to another level of the game or get at the end of the game. And sometimes you're trying to jump and you fall, or you're trying to go through a door and it closes, right? So we have been through a lot of things. So we actually can, encourage people in that way, right? Showing how and testimony, testifying to our faith and what we believe through the way that we go through challenges in life, right? So the message continues saying, preach through your unshakable hope in order to enable others to see the trust that it strengthens and encourages you to battle all the vicissitudes of life, right? So sometimes we have this idea that we only are the ones suffering, but if we really could see, I think for sure we'd see that everybody has problems and has some kind of problem. Everybody's really suffering and is dealing with a lot, right? Everybody's going through a lot. But we can always try to encourage others, through the strength that we already have, right? So if we think back from all the things that we've been through, and you can think very quickly now, and if you take a few minutes, you're going to think that there are some things in your life that you have overcome that you thought at that time, oh, I don't think I can do it. I don't know how this is going to work. I don't know where I'm going to find a solution. This seems so hard. But you are here today and you have overcome that. You have crossed that path. You have jumped that obstacle. So, as a fact, you can think that whatever it's going to be ahead of you, because of that, you are stronger and more prepared to go through those things, right? So, we should be strengthening others and enable others, helping one another to support that in those moments, because a lot of people are suffering and sometimes we are in so much pain that we cannot see the light right at the end of the tunnel. It just looks like we really have no way out. So since we are in September and we usually have a lot of it's usually the yellow September, or is the month that we talk a lot about suicide prevention. Remember that you have your faith, Your faith should be sincere. Remember, you can testify, right? You can help others by your example, by the strength that you already have, others that need. So he says, therefore, have faith in all that it contains of beauty and goodness, in its purity and in its reasoning, right? Do not accept faith that cannot be substantiated. The blind daughter of blindness. That's how it calls um, faith that it's not substantiated. Is the blind daughter of blindness, right? When he's talking about faith, that sincere faith, that is the mother of charity and hope. So that's again, I'm not talking, and we are not talking, and the gospel is not talking about that, positivity or, yeah, I believe in everything, right? Yes, I believe, but in your heart, you don't, right? That, or you just believing because it's also inviting you in Spiritism, really talks about that your faith needs to be a rational faith, right? um, we even remember Kardec, the codifier, when he said that unshakable faith, it's only that which can face reason in all human times, right? So in any historical time, in any epoch of time, our faith should be able to face reason in any time, right? With this technology, without much technology, that's what the spirits are saying. They're saying in this message, the spirits is saying, love God, but know why you do. Believe in his promises, but know why you believe in them. And this remind me of this other picture, right? This other image. One time, I think it was probably a talk about faith too, and I heard this person that was giving the talk saying, "Do you have faith in the pilot when you are traveling?" So, if you have traveled before, right? A lot of people are more nervous than others, but that is kind of a faith. You really believe in that person. May they be young or old, women or men, you know, how much they get per month. You really have faith in them that they're going to take that big airplane, make it take off, and safely land miles and miles away, right? You know nothing about them. So that's why it's really faith, right? You don't know their training. You do not review their resume. No, probably to hire somebody for a smaller job, you probably have more information than for that big job. So that is faith. That really is. You just sit back and you relax or don't relax, and you just trust. You really have faith that that person is going to do its job, right? So that's how we can think about that too, right? But here, the spirits are telling us have faith, but know why you have faith, not just like the faith you have in the pilot, right? When you're traveling by air. So this spirit is saying, follow our counsels. So the guidance from the spirits, but be aware of the objective we show you and the means we provide to reach it, right? So also the resources out there. So it finishes this first message with believe and hope without losing heart. Miracles are the deeds of faith. And in the next message, that is also about, hope, about faith. It's going to go a little bit more about the miracles. So we're going to go straight into that. So the last message is called Divine Faith and Human Faith. So it starts saying that faith is the innate sentiment in human beings of their future destiny. It is the awareness they have of the immense faculties whose seed was deposited in them, first in a latent stage. and which they now must make blossom and grow by their active will. So you see how this message also it really relates to the other. It started saying that our faith has to be active. This is also saying that, right? That it comes as a little seed. You gotta work on it to make it grow and blossom, right? It says, until now, faith has not been understood except from the religious aspect, because Christ extolled it as a powerful lever, and because he has been seen only as the head of a religion. But this message here is by a protector spirit, and it was given uh, in the city of Paris in 1863, reminds us, to look at Jesus much more than just the head of a religion, right? And it starts to show us and to bring us to this idea that Christ, who performed material miracles, had demonstrated through these same miracles what humans can do when they have faith. That is, the will to wish and the certainty that such will can obtain its fulfillment. Right. So Jesus really encouraged us, right, in his message in the gospel. He encourages us to have faith, to believe in our potential, right? Things that we did not even did. He also, right, encouraged the apostles too. The message says, by following his examples, did not the apostles also perform miracles? Well, what were those miracles except the natural effects, whose cause was unknown to humans back then, but which today have been largely explained and which will be fully understood through the study of Spiritism and magnetism, right? So that is a question, right? So here's what I was talking to you, that it explains and it goes a little bit more deeper about the faith and the miracle linkage there. And because this message is that divine faith and human faith, it tells us and continues in this message saying faith is either human or divine, depending on whether people apply their faculties to their earthly needs or to their heavenly and future aspirations, right? So it can be a faith that is human. So I have faith that I'll be promoted in 5 years, right? Or it can be a divine faith when I say, I have faith that if I keep working on myself, I'll be a better person, sometime, from now, maybe 3, 4, 5, 10, 100,000 incarnations of birth. But, if I want to be a better person, I have faith that that is more of a divine, uh, faith. And it reminds us that individuals of genius who pursue the accomplishment of some grace enterprise triumph if they have faith, because they feel within them that they can and must reach it. And this certainty provides them with immense power. So there are some examples that we know of people who accomplished great things, but because they really believe they could, right? So the statistics were not in their favor, maybe, there was not a lot of support, but, they had faith, that innate faith and that sincere faith, and that got them through, right, through the process. So in this message, it keeps talking a little bit about too, and tell us that moral persons, right, are good persons who believe in their heavenly future and who want to fill their lives with noble and beautiful actions in the certainty of the happiness that awaits them, draw from their faith the strength they need, thereby accomplishing the miracles of charity, devotion, and selflessness. Finally, that's in the next slide. finally, with faith, there are no evil tendencies that cannot be overcome. So maybe you're thinking, well, I don't know about faith. Maybe I feel so far away from the target. Maybe I did some things I regret, or maybe I haven't been so good. Maybe I could have been better, right? But faith even helps with that. Remember, the other message talks about faith being the means where we can regenerate ourselves. So here is also saying that with faith, there is no evil tendencies that cannot be overcome, right? And it explains here, right, the source of miracles. So in Spiritism, we do not believe in miracles like others believe. We have an explanation for all of that. So in this message, the Spirit says that magnetism is one of the greatest proofs of faith put into action. It is through faith that magnetism heals and produces remarkable phenomena that formerly were regarded as miracles, right? So there is an explanation. And if you want to learn more about magnetism, spiritism, you have been invited earlier, today, and you have been invited and you're invited again. You can start studying with us. The classes are free. They are online. They start this Saturday, September 2020, September 9th, and at 5:15 Eastern time. So the message ends, and I'm ending here. I'm towards the end. The ends saying, I will repeat, faith is both human and divine. If all incarnates were fully persuaded of the power they have within them, and if they wanted to put their will in the service of that power, they would be capable of accomplish what until today have been called prodigies, and which are actually nothing more than a development of human faculties, right? So, sometimes we say, well, I wish I could. No, you wish you wanted, right? You had faith in that and you really wanted to do that, because if you want to, then you would do it, right? It would change once you really want. If you're still like feeling like you cannot do it, is because you are not certain yet, right? You really don't want that. So it takes a little bit of your resolve with that too. So faith is both human and divine. And really, I really wish, and this is a note to self, so it's a note to myself too, right? If I could remember in times of trouble, right, in during conflicts or difficulties, of the power that I have within, right? That if I could really put this power that is faith that comes inside me, then I could accomplish much more, right? Than what we do. And some things are really the testimony of sometimes somebody's faith. That's really what is moving all those energies, right? And making things really come about, right? So that is the end of that second message, and is the end of this chapter, right? So I really want to leave you with this, last sentence that is also the title of, the first message, faith, the mother of hope and charity, right? So I hope that, your faith is strengthened every day. I really hope that in times of test, your faith can be shaken a little bit, but never, totally broken. I hope that every day you take steps to nourish your soul, to do practices, to have words and behaviors that really strengthen your soul and helps you to build that house under a rock, right? So that when things that are normal part of the life or incarnate of somebody in on earth comes, all those obstacles, those challenges, those distractions, right? Some of them are merely distractions. When they come, your faith, it's going to be so strong that you still know who you are, where you are, and those things will not affect you negatively. So with that, I thank you all for listening, and really I hope that we all can do things to strengthen our faith every day.
Thank you so much, and it was so nice to listen what you brought to us, and so bring us hope, right?
Yeah, yeah. So, Spiritism is supposed to be, right, the consoler, the promised consoler. So
Mhm.
that's why, I really like studying Spiritism, and that's really where my faith
Mhm.
it's much well set, because there's so much to do, but there's always hope, right? So
Yeah.
it's always in a hopeful way. So if you do the work, you'll get,
Mhm.
other things. It's never like, oh, there's so much to do, but you're never gonna get there, right?
Yeah. So related to the hope, we have three questions for you.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
try my best.
I don't know if someone's gonna put for me or if I should I put? Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, thank you for the support. Okay, the first one's from Rodrigo. How does Spiritism teach us to have faith in a world society that seems lost?
That's a great question. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think Spiritism teaches us, the reason for things, right? So my faith, it's a faith that has a reason. So, in the terms of a society that seems lost, I know that people have different experiences, right? We are all here, but we are at different levels, right? If we're going to look at that yin yang, at that good and bad, some people have not half and half, right? They have more or less.
Mhm.
So it's by explaining to us really the laws of God, the law of reincarnation, right? The law of cause and consequence. It's not by chance that some people seem more lost, or with these tendencies than others. Those are choices and experiences that happened before.
Mhm.
And again, the hope comes that all of us, it doesn't matter where in that little scale, if we're gonna put, I was always the shortest one, Marcella,
Mhm.
in my class. So if they did the line and they started with the shortest to the tallest, I was always the first one. So if we put everybody in that scale, right, from the best to the the worst, it doesn't matter if the person is the very last. the,
Mhm.
the law is progress, and we all gonna be better, right? Even our brothers and sisters that are Buddhists say one day everybody's gonna be Buddha, right? So we all
Mhm.
say we all gonna be as enlightened as the Christ. But I mean, you have to speed up that time to really see that. Maybe we're not gonna see that, but that's the law. That's the progress. That's the plan that God has for us,
We
right?
we cannot run from the progress law, right?
Exactly, exactly.
We have another question here from our friend Publio. Is this possible to improve our faith, or we are born with it and there are no way to change? And how to exercise our faith?
Yeah, I think whatever we had when we came has always been tested every day. That's how I feel, right? It's the news, it's maybe your
Yes,
kids, it's maybe your
especially these
neighbor,
days.
it's your pets. I mean, it's your boss. It can be so many different things, but you've been tested every day, right? With the news and the pandemic. So, I think the interesting thing it's that to know how much faith you have to
Mhm.
have your faith tested. So you have to go through those obstacles, So it's really going through the challenges that you actually can, he strengthen your faith. It's so easy. If everything is fine,
Mhm.
it's so easy to be patient, to have faith, to be charitable, to do all those things. But our virtuals, right, they are really tested when we go through these experiences that are part of life, that they give all these experiences. Sometimes we see them as punitive or as bad, but
Mhm.
those experiences are what give texture, right, to the lives that we live here, right? That's really what gives depth and, width and all these textures and everything. Without those challenges, it would be like a flat line. Nobody likes a flat line, right? Especially if you're a cardiologist, we don't want that flat line. You want like some ups and downs, right? But sometimes we see that as bad, but that is really what the experience here is, right? So
Yeah. Yeah, Mike, there is another one. It's from myself. But it's very related to the others equation. So how can we have faith in better days when much of we have seen in these words in these days is the opposite of love? Yeah.
yeah, I think there are two parts to that question. Sometimes I think we need to challenge this question: is really are things really getting worse?
Yeah.
You know,
We
I
can.
know I'm a better person than I was
Yes.
20 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I think there are some things that are better, but unfortunately, sometimes we stick with the bad. Right? There are so many progresses that we make, and there are people doing very good jobs and very good things out there. But I think we have this very negative way of consuming these things, and we just focus on the bad, right? Sometimes, so
Mm-hmm.
sometimes maybe challenge a little bit that notion. Is really everything really just worse, um but how can we have, regardless of what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
how can we have faith in better days? It's really, if you believe that, God is good and just and merciful, then everything that happens has a reason. Like, even I heard the other day somebody was saying, oh, that the earth is gonna, go away because the sun, I think in some billions and billions of years, supposed to explode or something, and without the sun there can be no life in the earth. But should we worry about it? But if you're a spiritist, or if you have faith, if it's not in this planet, you're gonna continue your evolution in another planet.
Another one, right? Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? It's not like you're going to be just in limbo, the plan will continue regardless of what happens. Sometimes it might not be what we want. Maybe I want to stay here in this blue planet forever, but it's not really up to me. But the plan that is outside, all the God's plan for us, the laws, they are not there to punish us or to forsake us, to abandon us. They are really to support us. So,
Mm-hmm.
that's the thing. We have to believe that there's order, right? And we're just a piece in that puzzle, right? An important one, a loved one,
Yes.
but we are not responsible for holding it all together. We're just responsible for our little part. So even if the earth goes away, we'll still be okay.
We are eternal spirits, right?
Exactly. So, if we need more experiences, God will
We
just
will
put
have.
another planet for us to continue.
Thank you so much. Just to end up, it is not a question, but it is a reflection from another friend, Rodrigo Farias. He said there is that little story of a nervous adult asking the little kid sitting next to him, on a turbulent flight. How he managed to remain so calm. The kid replied, the pilot is his father. So
Exactly.
he has faith on his father, right? So
Knows his father, so he has faith. Yeah, for us, we have to have the blind faith,
very good.
right?
We have our Father God, right? So we need to have faith on Him, right? So it's
Exactly.
a good analogy. Thank you, Rodrigo.
That's a very nice story. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I think it's in those times is like to, if we could, every time that we're facing a challenge or a problem, if we could lift ourselves outside, right? If we could see things from the top, but sometimes we just see things really small, and
Mhm.
then we cannot see, all the possibilities and all the other things that are connected and everything that is happening. So
Okay, thank you so much once again.
um,
And thank you for your participation in the chat. So now we will move to the preparation for our tonight's spiritual treatment. PAS is the transfusion of spiritual energy with the goal of assisting with our physical, emotional, and mental balance. PASs help us to restore a state of harmony and peace by replacing negative energy with healthy and positive energy. In order to receive the best benefits from passes, please follow the audio instructions or remain prayer. You may close your eyes to help with mentalization. During the pass, the water you set aside will also absorb the spiritual energy that your family and you can benefit from. We will now make a prayer in preparation for the pass, which will be our closing prayer as well. Okay, so I invite everyone to close our eyes if you wish. Elevate our thought, thanking Jesus, Mother Mary, all the good spirits surrounding us, Master Jesus. We are here one more time to thank you for everything you have done for us. We thank you for this beautiful talk, and we ask you to help us to practice our faith no matter what. May we follow your steps, have faith on God and His law, His love. And may your simple and humble spirit just inspire us to be a better person and to love one another and help our neighbors wherever we go. We ask your protection for this week. Bless our family, our friends, and may we have a good sleep as well. Once again, thank you. And we ask you and the good spirits to stay with us today and always. So be it.
Let us now prepare ourselves for the moment of the passes and the magnetization of water. Let's now calm our hearts, breathing in and out. Pay attention to your body. Focus on your breath and let yourself be carried by this energy. Let your thoughts pass by without judging them. Let them flow. Allow this light to be the beacon that guides you, and allow these words to penetrate your energy. Make each word an anchor of gratitude, faith, and trust. With the purpose of healing, which takes away my faith, healing every feeling of separation, of pain, let it all dissolve in this moment, leaving only love, gratitude, and trust. We ask God for the presence of our guardian angel and the friendly spirits who welcome us into this enlightened environment of our Spiritist Center. We open our plexus of love and forgiveness by mentalizing a light surrounding our hearts. Find a quiet and comfortable place to begin the mentalization process. Remove all worries from your thoughts. We ask that during the pass you breathe slowly and deeply. Let your body relax and surrender yourself to a deep meditation. Calmly imagine divine energies in soft and colorful light surrounding you in an environment of peace and spiritual warmth. Entrusting God with your most intimate desires, raise your thoughts to Jesus and the emissaries of the spiritual environment. The Pass begins with the cleansing of your soul. Imagine a waterfall of crystal clear water pouring over us, removing all the feelings that keep you away from faith and trust. Feel the energy of this water bathing you and deeply breathe in, feeling peace and harmony. Allow this water to wash away all the impurities and spiritual larvae, washing away all the sorrows and resentments, any feelings of hatred and revenge that hold us back and cause us harm, not only from this life, but past ones as well. Now visualize spiritual doctors around you, applying magnetic cleansing passes, sanitizing your spiritual body of all sadness and negative energy. Mentalize these negative thoughts and feelings being washed away, evaporating from your soul, like water evaporating into thin air, and being carried far away from your mind. Surround yourself with the faith that bathes your being, bringing clarity and lucidity, rebalancing every cell in your body. May the water envelop all pain and bring the clarity of opportunity that chooses peace. The answer arises in our hearts, freeing us from all evil and freeing all whom we have caused evil into and who have caused us evil, washing away all the connections that bind us. Even though we may not understand, we are freeing ourselves from all that causes us harm. Feel this cleansing penetrate your soul and release. Now that we are spiritually cleansed, imagine yourself surrounded by the light of love from the hands of Jesus. At this moment, sing words of faith and gratitude, being faithful to the light that exists in me, planted by the zealous Father. Imagine the sunlight that surrounds and enraptures, freeing us from the chains of everything that holds us down, strengthening your faith. Allow yourself to trust in this light, surrender to it, involved in pleasant feelings and feeling relieved to receive the strengthening lights. Mentalize your spiritual mentors now applying divine light for the strengthening of your mind and your emotions, leaving you feeling emotionally revitalized. Let us now mentalize the magnetization of this water. May we mentalize all the friendly spirits, magnetizing this water and filling it with everything that our bodies, minds, and soul need, so that it may be of help to us when we drink it after the Pass. Thank you, God.
I was trying to unmute. Thank you for joining us tonight. We will be back next Tuesday here on Spiritism Canada and Continental Concafres Americas at 8:30 p.m. East. And next Wednesday on Kardec Radio at 8 p.m. East. And please don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for the Spiritism Canada and the Spiritism Group Path of the Light. Have a good night.
Sometimes it's not so close. Sometimes we build our dreams, but then we see them decompose. When you feel down the dumps, feeling sad and blue, give life a chance, my friend, the sun will shine again on you. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Have little faith in you. Maybe tomorrow you can dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, it doesn't mean the end. Believe you can come through. The rainy days are true. Sometimes okay to feel blue. Have little faith in you. Dream all your dreams again. Though some sorrow remains, your dreams can get you through.